Hello, my name is Jingonelli. Today we are going to be looking at Microsoft Access Lesson 2. So before you watch this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel and make sure you have watched Lesson 1. So this is going to be Lesson 2, but you won't understand Lesson 2 without watching Lesson 1. So assuming you have watched Lesson 1, remember with Lesson 1, I had opened up this. I had named it Jingonelli, and then we had looked at course table and also the student table. Now with this, beginning off with the forms, I showed you how to create forms. You go to create, then you go to form wizard. If you want your data to display like in such a way, when you're seeing this, you put it in a form. You don't come here and you manually put the thing there. You don't manually come and put it there. You will get 0 marks in the exam. You'll have to go back and go to create form wizard, and then you put in whatever you want to put in. And this is how it looks like. Like this course table, when it comes to the form wizard, this is where it is. Are you seeing this? This is where I get to put in whatever I want to put. So in lesson 1 we had ended on web design, and then with lesson 2 I have added in this. I have typed CS13 and then called it nursing, and then put that the tuition, and then called it Joan. So Joan is tutoring twice. So you can see it is dealing. Joan can tutor networking. She can also tutor nursing. That is the course name. So this is what I have added. After doing that, I saved, and after saving, I closed it. So then when I came to my course table, it displayed this. And then with that, let me hope you're following how that came about. Then with student table, what I have done, I have also added there Stella. Remember with lesson 1 I ended on Mike, so I have added there Stella. And with Stella, how did I add Stella? I didn't manually put this thing here. I went to student input form. If I want to add any other, this is what I will do. So I went to 2, and then I put it, moved to Stella, this, the date of birth, then female, male, campus ballet, then the course ID. So after doing that, let me just show you the question. This is the question which we dealt with it on lesson 1. So this is something I've added. I've not done all of these because of time. Just a sample to briefly show you what I want to show you, so that you can be able to practice more. So having added that, I've added those two for a reason. So during our question didn't have what I'm going to go through today. Assuming that this question was continuing, and they tell you create an input mask for maybe telephone field. So here I'm just showing you something extra. So if at all I'm having a telephone field, so if I want to add there a telephone field, let me say on let's our students, let's put it on course table. So if at all I want to put it on this course table, what am I going to do? First of all, I'm going to go to this course table. I right click, then I go to design view. So here I can add that field. So I'm going to say telephone. Having added that, the telephone. Now remember, with telephone, if you want the 0 to appear like 078, you're going to call that data type text. Hope I'm clear there. So if at all you don't give it text and you call it number or something, the 0 won't appear. So with this, you call it text, and I've told me create an input mask for telephone field. So after having done this, I'm going to come here and say input mask, and then I click there. So let's assume they have given me 256. So I'm going to say 256. I want it in brackets. Shift. I want it in those brackets. So I'm going to press enter, and you get to see these commas besides it when you press enter. Having done that, I want it to have. So I'm going to say comma. I want it to have 6 digits. So let me say I'm going to say hashtag, then comma, and then hashtag. So in total, my telephone number is going to have 9 digits. It's going to have the 256, then a digit here, digit here, digit here, digit here, digit here, like the unknown digits. That's why I've put there hashtag, but with commas. So once that is done, I just press enter, and then I save. Don't forget to save. So meaning the changes have been saved. Once they are saved, I get to close it. So once I close it, remember we had this course form. We had this course form without the telephone. So meaning if I want the telephone to appear, I'm going to create another form. So now those who have just joined in on me with just part 2, this is what I get to do to create a form. I go to form wizard, and then now you can see the telephone is appearing, and with this I had created it already without the what? The telephone part. So I'm going to take all these that side, and then I say next, and then I say next, and then to differentiate from this, I'm going to call it course table with telephone. With tele, let me shorten it, tele, that will be enough. Let me put it in small letters, tele, and then I say finish. So once that appears, now you can get to see that I'm having a form having tele. So I'm going to click on it, and this is going to appear. So once this appears, I put in my 3 digits, 1, 2, 3, and even the other 3, just randomly. So this is the telephone number. So having done this, I go to the next, so that they can now have the telephone number. I click here, automatically comes, I put in any digit I want, like that. And then I go to the next one, because I created 3. I click, and then I go here, put in any number I want. And then after doing that, don't forget to save. You save. Having saved, you close. So you come and see your course table, how it looks like. So you can see what I have put in. The telephone number is now appearing. So I wanted to show you how they get to capture the telephone part. So if at all you want zeros on it, let me take you back. Course table. Now if at all I want a 0, so let me delete this. I put 0. So I put a 0 there, and then I save. So after saving, I close. So come to course table. You can see that the 0 is appearing, but if I had not given my data text, it won't appear. So if you want the 0 to appear, you put your data in text. So having done that, we can also go to create a query for student table. So this one, we are just creating a query. So let's create a query. If you don't know how to create a query, this is how we create a query. You go to create, and then you go to query wizard. Then you go to, you press OK, simple query wizard. You go to OK. Then they have told me to create for student. I choose student, and then I take all those that side, and then I say next, and then it's of course this student table query. Yeah, I can name it that, then finish. So that is how I've created the query. Now this is how the query looks like. You can see it's just that. If at all they make you to make, if at all they tell you to make some adjustments, that's when you go to modify. You modify it. You do what and what. So now, assuming you're having your query, and they're telling you maybe create a prompt query for course table. So now you can see now they're telling me to create a query for course table. Now I'm going to go to create again, and then I go to query wizard, and then I'm going to say OK. So now they've told me to create a for course table. So I'm going to say course table. Take them, all of them that side, and then I say next, then next. Then they've told me to create prompt query. So I'm going to call this prompt course table query. Course table prompt query. Let me call it prompt query prompt. So So I've called it prompt. Then then I go to finish. Remember, I've gone to modify. So once this displays, you're going to go to and I said create a prompt query for course table. So I'm going to go to course name and I say create. When I say create, I'm going to put there, I'm going to use square bracket and I say maybe please enter enter. This will be too long. I'm going to say enter course name. So that will be perfect. Close it. So once that is done, I go to save and then run. So this is how it will be appearing. So that's when I close this and I go to this prompt query. Once it's telling me enter course name, and then I go to my question. When I look at the course name, we are having networking. So if at all, let's say net, you put in whatever the way how you have typed it, networking, and then you say okay, and then it will display all those tutoring the networking course. So you can see Joanne, she's tutoring the networking course. So that's how you do it. In case you want web designing, nursing, you do the same. So that is that. If you want to create a prompt query for course table, so that they can easily get details of the people who are tutoring a particular course unit. So once that is done, then they're telling me maybe create a query, create a query to show the course units that are being tutored by Joanne. So I created two course units for Joanne deliberately, so that I can show you in case someone is being tutored by Joanne, like Joanne is tutoring twice. That is nursing. That is, let's check here, course table. She's tutoring nursing and also networking. So if I want to create a query displaying only Joanne, like the course unit she's tutoring, I'm going to go to create. Now most of the students make a mistake. They go to Form Wizard, just because Form Wizard also is having such features that take data this side and then they end up messing up. But that's not the case. You go to query Wizard and then you say okay, simple, and then I'm looking at the course table, the tutors. So I want to see to create a table that whereby it shows me the only what Joanne tutored. So I'm going to go to next, then I go to next, and then I go to modify, then finish. So I want to see only I want to see all the details of the course unit, the course name, the tuition of the course unit that Joanne tutored. So I'm going to just come and I say, now make sure you put in the spelling you had put in already. So it was a capital J, then small letters, then Joanne. Then after that I press enter, and then you will get this. Then you will get something that is appearing like this. Then after that you go to save, and then you run. So after doing that, you can see you are having, just that we have not given it a name. Let me see if I can rename it from here. Okay, we have not given it a name. We have not given it a name. So it's having let me see if it can easily be identified. It's having course table query. Okay, course table query. Yeah, it is somehow unique, but it's only showing for Joanne. We should have called it course table query for J1. So you can see this one is displaying only what J1 tutored. When I'm to go to course table, you can see there's Nike. So Nike is teaching or tutoring, web designing, and J1 is handling these two. And you can see by this we have created only for J1. So that's how you, in case you have been given something and you want to create only like a query for only that particular thing. So that's how you do it. So then after doing that, what else can we look at? You know, we are wrapping up. I'm trying to handle anything that may be a challenge to you. Then create a report for students in ascending order using landscape. So with query, maybe perhaps let me see something which is needed ascending order. Let's close this. So let me see. Okay, if I want to put this in ascending order, let's say, let me close it. That is with the course. So I'm going to go to query design. Of course, they have told you to create something with query design in ascending order. So course, take all those ones there. I go to that next, and then I go to modify. Then I go to finish. So with the sort, this is the sort. If I want the course name to be in ascending order, this is where I go: ascending, descending, non-sorted. Then I go to ascending order, and then I didn't name this, but that's how they do it. And then after that, you save and then run. I didn't give it a proper name. So this one also, this is how it will be appearing. So you can differentiate it with course table query 1. So this is how it will be appearing. You can see that when you look at this course table, networking comes first. When you look at this one, let me see the difference. Okay, web designing comes when you look at the web designing, this is the origin. What you're seeing here is the origin. But when you go to the ascending order, you will see that web designing comes last, because that's the vertical. That is the ascending order. Sorry, and this is how the way it is appearing. So now it will be networking, nursing, and then web designing. But the original is networking, web designing, nursing. So that is how they do the ascending in the query. So having done that, also we go to another one dealing with create a report for students in ascending order using landscape. So in case they tell you to create a report, you can still come here and you say report wizard. So when you go to report wizard, telling you for students. So we are in course students. Then you check everything that side. So after doing that, you go to next, and then yeah, this is okay. You go to next. So here, this is where you change the order. So ascending order, they have told me ascending order. So ascending, now this is ascending. In case you want descending, you apply. Then they're saying using landscape. Landscape is going to be the next one. So here, this is where you get to choose the the landscape they have told you, and then you go to landscape. Then you say next, and then you're not going to modify it because you don't need. You're not being asked for anything else. Then you go to finish. So this is how it will look like. So this is how the report looks like. In case they have told you to create a report, if they have given you the landscape, they want you to for the land, they want you to put it in, but most of the time they ask for landscape. So that is with that. So now to create a report, what other tricky thing can they bring in this? So let's look at in case they bring, maybe they want students having that we are born maybe less than let's say they want students below this date, below their date of birth, when their date of birth is below 22nd in the month of in the 11th month, then 2022. Let's get we want to create a table for students below this date, the date below the date of 22nd November. So if I want to create the date of 22nd November 2022, what I'm going to do now, I want to create something. It's going to be eliminating the one who was born in February, February 10th. So this one won't be there. If at all I'm having other students, still they will be sorted out, and we only get what you want. So I want a date that is below that, let me check it again. Below, I think it was 22nd of November. So what I do, remember something that can sort out that. You don't go to Form Wizard, you go to Query Wizard, then Import Query. Then I say, take that side, student. Then I do that. Then I want, let me call it Edge. Then you go to modify because I want to make some changes there. Then you go to where the date of birth is. Then under criteria, you just say less than. You look for that symbol of less than, shift less than, and then you say we are having 22nd of the 11th month in 2022. Below that date. So that's what that means. It's going to only give you that student who's above that date. So when I say save and run, you can see now it's only bringing. So sorry, I displayed for some because I said less than. But if at all it was above, it will now show me. It will now also show me. It will show me mine. But I said less than. So less than will eventually show you Stella. But if at all I had said maybe greater than this month here, greater than the month of Stella, it will show you Mike. So I said less than the month in which Mike was born, and it displayed me Stella. So that's what I wanted. That's how they do it. If at all they tell you to create anything that is having a month, and if they want you to deal with the date of birth, so that's how they do it. Let me close all these. It has displayed Stella. Then another thing, if at all I are saying maybe more than, let's see here. Let me see here. Constable. So if at all you want to only get those students that will be paying for a course unit, maybe let's say less than. Now I don't want it to display. I don't want it to display the 450. I want it to display networking, which is for 300,000, and also nursing, which is for 250,000. So I'm going to go under my query, under the criteria, and I say less than this amount here. So let's do it and see. So we are going to go to create, and then query wizard, then that, then we go to cost table because then we have tuition fees. Then we go to that, then next, then we do this. Then I'm going to call this tuition. Let me call it fees. We are wrapping up this, so then finish. Then I'm going to go to this criteria right here, and I say I want it to display the two that were below that are paying less here. So I'm going to say less than. Less than. Depends on what the question has. Less than 40. That was it. Then I say enter. When I press enter, I go to save and then run. Did I make a mistake? Let me delete this. I think I made a mistake. I think I put in a wrong figure. So I think I put in a wrong figure. We delete this. So I'm going to go to create, Then I go to query wizard, do that, because this is the one which have inclusion. Then I do that, next, then modify. I said I'm going to call this field, then finish. Then this is tuition. One, less than, less than that amount. Then I say save and then run. So you can see I've done a mistake. I put in a lesser figure. I think I had said I'd missed out a 0. So it has eventually displayed the two that I wanted, J1 and NAIC, that the ones that are below 450,000. So I think with that I am done with the wrapping up. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. If at all you are having more issues with Microsoft Access, you want to know how to deal with something, I can make another tutorial on that, but basically this has at least touched most of the areas, plus lesson 1.